The Adventure of T-Rex and Velociraptor. Long ago, in the dense jungles of the Cretaceous period, lived a Tyrannosaurus rex named Rex and a Velociraptor named Velo. Despite their differences in size and strength, they were best friends, always embarking on thrilling adventures together. The mystery of the Shadow Valley. One day, an old pteranodon warned them about Shadow Valley, a place rumored to be home to a massive, unseen creature. Their curiosity got the best of them, and they decided to uncover the truth. They ventured through thick forests, crossed rivers, and narrowly avoided hunting Spinosaurus. Finally, as they entered the valley, an eerie silence surrounded them. No birds, no wind, just an unsettling stillness. An unexpected encounter. Suddenly, a pair of glowing red eyes appeared in the darkness. A massive Giganotosaurus, one of the deadliest predators of their time, emerged and roared, locking its sights on Rex. Though Rex was powerful, he wasn't sure he could defeat this giant alone. Thinking quickly, Velo leaped onto the Giganotosaurus's back, clawing at its eyes. The beast roared in pain, thrashing wildly. Seizing the opportunity, Rex used all his strength to slam the predator into the rocky cliffs. Wounded and startled, the Giganotosaurus retreated into the shadows. A triumphant. Escaping danger, Rex and Velo returned home, sharing their tale with the other dinosaurs. From that day on, they became legends of the prehistoric world, celebrated as the bravest explorers of their time. The adventure to the mysterious island. One day, Rex and Velo stood on a high cliff, gazing out at the vast ocean. In the distance, they spotted a small island shrouded in thick fog. No one had ever set foot there, and rumors whispered that it held secrets yet to be uncovered. The journey across the sea. Curiosity piqued. Rex and Velo decided to venture out and discover the truth. They found a large tree that had fallen after a storm, and together pushed it into the water, turning it into a raft. The journey was not easy. Massive mosasaurs swam nearby, their cold eyes watching every move. Velo used her speed and agility to distract them, while Rex used his strength to keep the raft steady. After hours of drifting at sea, they finally reached the island. The island's secrets. Upon stepping ashore, they realized this island was unlike any place they had ever seen. Towering trees, strange dinosaurs they had never encountered, and most unsettling of all, giant footprints, larger than any dinosaur they had ever known. Suddenly, a deep roar echoed through the forest. A Therizinosaurus, with its long, sharp claws, emerged from the bushes. It didn't seem like a typical predator, more like a guardian of something. Velo quickly climbed onto a tall rock to observe and noticed a massive egg nest behind the Therizinosaurus. It turned out the creature was simply protecting its young. Not wanting to cause unnecessary conflict, Rex and Velo backed away, showing respect for the guardian. Returning and sharing the tale. After uncovering a few more of the island's secrets, they decided to head back before nightfall. The return journey across the sea was also full of challenges, but they had learned to work together to overcome them. Back on land, they shared their adventure with the other dinosaurs. From then on, the mysterious island became a legend, and Rex and Velo were once again celebrated as the bravest explorers of the Cretaceous period. The adventure in the volcano's heart. One bright morning, Rex and Velo heard rumors from a passing Brachiosaurus about a volcano deep in the jungle, where it was said that the heart of the mountain glowed with a mysterious radiant light. The Brachiosaurus mentioned that many had tried to find it, but no one had ever returned. Intrigued by the challenge, Rex and Velo decided to embark on the journey to discover the truth behind this glowing mystery. Into the jungle. The duo began their journey, pushing through the dense jungle filled with towering ferns and massive trees. They had to navigate carefully, avoiding the traps set by Cumeosaurs and the territorial Allosaurus. As they ventured deeper, they could hear the distant rumble of the volcano, and the air grew warmer. Velo, with her quick reflexes, kept an eye out for any dangers while Rex used his strength to clear obstacles. The closer they got to the volcano, the more intense the heat became. The lava river. After hours of trekking, they reached a flowing river of lava that blocked their path. The intense heat was unbearable, but Rex was determined to find the volcano's heart. He noticed a narrow rock bridge high above the lava, barely wide enough for them to cross. Velo, being lighter, crossed first, helping Rex step carefully across. The heat was so strong that the air shimmered, and the ground beneath them seemed to vibrate with the power of the volcano. Finally, they made it to the other side, their hearts pounding from the dangerous journey. The glowing heart. At last, they reached the base of the volcano. The ground trembled as molten rock bubbled up from the depths. In the center of the volcano, they found what had been rumored, the glowing heart of the mountain, a massive crystal that shimmered with a golden light. However, they weren't alone. A pyroraptor, drawn to the warmth and light, stood protectively near the crystal. It had claimed the area as its territory, and it was not going to let anyone approach. Rex and Velo knew they couldn't fight the pyroraptor without risking injury, so they decided to use their wits instead. Velo quickly darted around, creating a distraction, while Rex snuck up behind the pyroraptor. With one swift move, they grabbed the glowing crystal, Tais, causing the pyroraptor to become confused and retreat into the shadows. The return. With the crystal in hand, Rex and Velo made their way back to the jungle. The journey was long and treacherous, but they had succeeded in uncovering the secret of the glowing heart. As they returned to their home, the two adventurers were greeted as heroes. The glowing crystal was placed in the center of their community, and the legend of their brave journey lived on. Once again, Rex and Velo proved that with courage, teamwork, and cleverness, even the greatest challenges could be overcome. The adventure to the Crystal Caverns. One day, Rex and Velo heard rumors from a wandering pterosaur about a hidden cave system deep within the mountains, said to be filled with glowing crystals. These crystals were rumored to hold mysterious powers, and many dinosaurs had tried and failed to find them. Intrigued by the idea of such a treasure, Rex and Velo decided to embark on the adventure. The journey to the cave. They trekked through the rugged terrain, climbing rocky hills and crossing narrow streams. The air grew colder as they neared the entrance to the caverns. When they arrived, they found the entrance hidden behind thick vines, barely noticeable unless you knew where to look. The Crystal Caverns. Inside, the caverns were even more magnificent than they had imagined. The walls shimmered with countless glowing crystals, casting colorful light across the dark tunnels. The ground was uneven, and the sound of dripping water echoed through the cavern. Velo, being nimble, led the way, carefully stepping over jagged rocks. As they ventured deeper, they came across a massive crystal formation blocking their path. The crystals were too sharp and dangerous to break through. Thinking quickly, Velo used her speed to find another route, leading them through a narrow passage where the crystals didn't block the way. The mysterious power. At the heart of the cavern, they found a glowing crystal unlike any other, a massive, radiant gem that seemed to pulse with energy. As Rex touched it, a surge of warmth ran through him, and he felt stronger than ever. Velo, too, felt the crystal's power, though she was careful not to linger too long. Realizing the danger of overusing the crystal's power, they decided to leave it untouched and carefully made their way back. On the way out, the crystal's glow faded behind them, as if it had known they were leaving. Returning home, Rex and Velo returned to their home, sharing their tale of the Crystal Caverns. The adventure had been brief, but the mystery of the glowing crystals remained, leaving them with a sense of wonder and the knowledge that some treasures are best left undiscovered. The adventure to the ice cavern. One chilly morning, Rex and Velo heard tales from a Triceratops about a hidden ice cavern located in the northernmost mountains, a place where no dinosaur had ventured before. The cavern was said to contain frozen fossils of ancient creatures, preserved perfectly by the cold. Intrigued by the mystery, Rex and Velo decided to set out on their latest adventure. The cold journey. The journey to the northern mountains was long and treacherous. The air grew colder with each step, and soon snow began to fall. Velo, with her light footsteps, led the way through the snow-covered landscape, while Rex followed, using his strength to clear any obstacles in their path. As they neared the cavern, the landscape changed. The trees became sparse, and the ground was covered in thick ice. The entrance to the cavern was hidden behind a large ice sheet, which they had to carefully climb over to enter. Inside the ice cavern, Once inside, they were amazed by the beauty of the cavern. The walls were lined with giant icicles, and the ground was slick with frost. Glowing blue light filtered through the ice, illuminating ancient fossils embedded in the walls. Some were from dinosaurs they recognized, while others were completely unknown. As they explored deeper into the cavern, they found a frozen mammoth, its thick fur still preserved in the ice. It was a stunning sight, frozen in time. But as they moved further, they noticed strange cracks in the ice, signs that the cavern was unstable. The ice collapse. Suddenly, a loud cracking sound echoed through the cavern. The ground beneath them began to shake, and parts of the ceiling started to crumble. Realizing they were in danger, Rex and Velo quickly turned to leave. Velo led the way, dodging falling ice, with Rex pushing through any obstacles that blocked their path. With the cavern collapsing around them, they made it to the exit just in time, narrowly escaping the crumbling ice. Outside, they breathed a sigh of relief as the cold wind blew across their faces. Returning home. Though they had discovered the wonders of the ice cavern, Rex and Velo knew that some secrets were better left frozen in time. They returned home, their hearts racing, and shared their story with their fellow dinosaurs. The ice cavern remained a mystery, but one they were content to leave behind. The adventure to the lost waterfall. One bright morning, Rex and Velo met a Parasaurolophus who spoke of a legendary waterfall hidden deep in the jungle. It was said to be the largest waterfall in the land, its water glowing with a magical blue hue, and it could heal any dinosaur who bathed in it. The legend intrigued Rex and Velo, and they decided to embark on a new adventure to find this elusive waterfall. The Jungle Path. Rex and Velo began their journey, trekking through the dense jungle. The trees were thick, and the air was humid and heavy with the scent of flowers. As they pushed forward, they encountered a Tarbosaurus who warned them about the dangers ahead. The path to the waterfall was said to be full of tricky terrains and wild creatures, but Rex and Velo, undeterred, pressed on. As they navigated the dense undergrowth, they crossed rivers and climbed over rocky hills. Velo, with her agility, swiftly navigated the tricky path, while Rex used his strength to clear obstacles that blocked their way. The sound of distant rushing water grew louder as they drew closer. The hidden waterfall. After a long journey, they finally reached a secluded valley where the sound of rushing water filled the air. The trees parted, revealing the lost waterfall. It was even more magnificent than they had imagined. A massive waterfall cascading down from high cliffs with the water glowing in a brilliant, magical blue. As they approached the base of the waterfall, Rex and Velo noticed that the water was not only beautiful, but also had a calming, rejuvenating effect. They took a moment to rest and drink from the cool, glowing waters. It was as if the waterfall had a peaceful, healing energy that refreshed their spirits and eased their tired muscles. The Guardian of the Falls. Just as they were about to leave, a loud roar echoed from above. A massive Giganotosaurus appeared, its eyes fierce and protective. It was the guardian of the lost waterfall, and it would not allow anyone to take the water without a challenge. Rex and Velo knew they couldn't fight such a powerful creature. Instead, they decided to show respect. Velo, quick thinking as always, bowed her head and gestured toward the water, showing that they only sought to admire its beauty, not to take anything. Rex, with his calm demeanor, stood beside her, making no threatening moves. The Giganotosaurus paused, observing them closely. After a tense moment, it stepped aside, allowing them to leave peacefully. The two adventurers bowed in respect before making their way back. The return journey. As they made their way back to their home, Rex and Velo felt rejuvenated, their spirits lifted by the beauty and magic of the lost waterfall. They had uncovered another mystery, but it was one they chose to keep secret, knowing some things were meant to be left untouched. When they returned to their friends, they shared the tale of their journey, leaving out the part about the guardian, but speaking of the peaceful power of the waterfall. The lost waterfall remained a legend, a place of healing and wonder, known only to those brave enough to seek it.